Hello universe, Josh here. This is a video response to Timothy de la Ghetto's Dear de la Ghetto, number 12, I believe it is. And, hey Timothy, I just wanted to respond to this one because I think it was not your best de la Ghetto, where I wanted just to talk about some of your advice that you do give in this video. So here goes. Okay, so you give some advice to somebody whose girlfriend is telling his mom all about his sex life, and I always think your advice is really great, and I think you're a real in tune guy. So that's why I really enjoy these De La Ghetto episodes. I can't disagree with anything you said about having an open sex life and sharing it with your parents, telling them everything. I mean, that's cool. If you're able to do that, I think that's really cool. Not everybody can, but I think if your girlfriend or boyfriend is sharing with their parents things like that, I think encourage them. Okay, next you talk about this guy who thinks he's autistic, and you're right, Ileana, you're right too. No one becomes autistic, and I'm sure this person is not autistic. Well, I'm 99% sure. I mean, there are mild cases of autism, but it's something that you have your entire life. You don't just suddenly turn autistic. But yeah, you give him some great advice, some solid advice. I think you leave out some things though, and the thing is that you leave out, I think that it's really a confidence issue with him. I mean, with social skills, it's always a confidence issue, and in order to build your social skills, you need to get out there, which I think you said in your videos. When you go out and maybe you're going to make a fool of yourself a few times. Maybe you'll make a fool of yourself for the rest of your life. You can't be worried about that. And you gotta tell yourself when you're going out to hang out with whoever or go look for a job or whatever, you're gonna fail a couple times. I mean, maybe you won't fail the first time, but maybe you will, and you got to be ready for that. And you got to understand that if you do fail one time, it's not the end of the world, and you can pick yourself up and you just go to the next one and just enjoy it. Just enjoy the experience and try and learn from it, and eventually you'll meet somebody who you can really hit it off with, just a friend or whatever, or you'll go to a job interview and just suddenly it'll be like, oh wow, this is really working out, because not everybody's personality matches everybody else's. So, keep looking for those good times, but, don't beat yourself up about the failures and the times that you make a fool of yourself, because, look at Timothy de la Ghetto. He makes a fool of himself on a day-to-day basis. He doesn't care. And I think that's where his confidence comes from, and that's all confident people. They have lots of times when they just look like an idiot or whatever. So the key to confidence is not being afraid of what's going to happen, or being able to move on with it and keep on going and keep on trying no matter what happens. And so that's that. I mean, get a job, but don't sweat it too much. Just be yourself. I guarantee you won't be looking for the rest of your life for a job, because people need workers. I mean, people, even the least socially skilled people still get jobs in slaughterhouses and whatever. I hope you don't have to resort to working in a slaughterhouse, but there's jobs for all levels of social capacity. So that's all I have to add about that. And yeah, excellent advice as before, Timothy. And then your next piece of advice was you had Joel from Seoul asking you for some advice on something strange that happened in the bedroom, or wherever it was that they were doing it. Now, I don't know what the issue was here, and it could have been one of the things that you mentioned. One of the things that you got to remember though when having sex is be considerate of your partner, and foreplay, man. I think foreplay is one of the best ways to keep yourself comfortable during sex, especially the woman to be turned on and ready to do it, and I think that's a big part of it. So yeah, that's also my advice to you, Timothy. I'm sure you're great in bed and all, but everyone can use foreplay, so think about that. Another piece of advice for people who are wanting to be comfortable in sex, and if they have problems with pain or something like that, is make sure you're lubed up And there are lots of ways to do this. The natural way is just that you kiss and stuff, and then those parts of your body kind of naturally kick in and build up fluids that help you slide across each other. But there are some other ways to get that area lubed up. One of my favorites is saliva. If you and your partner are into that, oral sex is great. The other ways would be artificial lubricants, which you can buy in any sex store. Don't be afraid to try out things like that. I mean, because it's really cool and it will really enhance your sex life. I mean, you think, oh yeah, I don't need that. I produce plenty of fluids on my own. Well, maybe you do, but it never hurts to try. And it doesn't mean you're any less of a man or less of a woman if you want to choose to use lubricants, like to help you along there, to make sex more comfortable and enjoyable for both of you. And you can get, like, there's all kinds of products I won't talk about, but you know, they're very kinky and sexy. Next, you cover boning a slut, and I think you covered the bases here as far as STDs and things go. Excellent advice. Wear a condom. Always wear a condom. And the only piece of advice I would also add is make sure she really is into and experimenting with different people, because you know, that's all. What's important is that the two partners expect the same thing going in, and that, you know, you don't expect any more from it than just, you know, sex, just casual sex, and that's cool, that's fun. People like that. But you know, the problem with any sex is that sometimes one person wants a little more than the other person. You know, just be upfront about it. Be honest. Be honest that you just want casual sex. Don't lie to a chick. You know, if you really don't plan on taking it any further, you gotta let her know that. Even if you think, like, everyone tells you, oh yeah, she's a slut. There's nothing wrong with girls being sluts. I love sluts. But yeah, just make sure you're honest about it going in. Make sure that, yeah, both parties are honest. And that's all I had to add to that particular part. Now about the guy who's depressed and going into honors classes. Good job, Timothy, of you know, giving him some encouragement. I would give him the exact same encouragement. You know, life can only get better, and but I also want to mention that you know, it's okay to talk about these things to your family or your friends, and you know, depression can be an actual issue, and there's nothing wrong with, like, you're not a drama queen if you talk to your family and say, you know, I'm feeling depressed and I'm wondering if there's something physically wrong with you, because there is such a thing as clinical depression, and it's treatable, or, you know, if you're aware of it and if you're talking about it, there are people in your community who you can talk to, and you can talk to a doctor about it, or you can talk to a counselor about it. And you know, there's access to things that help. They might recommend further steps or whatever, but you know, the thing about depression is it's okay to talk about it with your friends and family. You know, and it doesn't have to be like all deep and stuff. So that's all I had to say about that one, Timothy de la Ghetto. Keep making your question answering things, and I think you do a really good job. So keep it up, and bye for now. Excellent advice. Wear a condom. Always wear a condom.